Hey guys, so this is going to be the solution to some substitution questions that you got, and I'm just also going to make this a public video so that others can benefit. All right, so here we go. So we're doing substitution, and I gave you some questions last class to work on. I'm just going to release the answers to those now. All right, so I'm trying to change that screen. All right, so substitute these values into each expression. A equals 5 and B equals 2. And the first one we're asked to do is A plus B. As I go along, I am going to point out where some of you may have gone wrong, some of the misconceptions you're still having, some of the basic stuff that you need to shake up on. All right, so here we go, A plus B. That's going to be 5 plus 2. So we're putting in the values for these letters. We're replacing the letters with their values. All right, so that's going to be 5 plus 2 equals 7. Easy peasy. The next one says 5b. We should evaluate 5b minus 3a. Okay, and we know that 5b means 5 times b, 3a means 3 times a, etc. All right, so 5b is going to be 5 times b, which is 5 times a, minus 3 times, sorry about that. So that's going to be 5 times, hold on, b is going to be 2. Then we have 3 times a, that's where a comes in. All right, so it's going to be 3 times the value of a is going to be 5. Okay. And then we're going to have, let me take out one of those brackets. 5 times 2 gives us 10 minus 3 times 5, 15. And some persons had the answer 5. 10 minus 15 is going to be negative 5. Remember, the signs are different. 10 is positive, 15 is negative. And we can say different signs, and signs are different. We find the difference, or different signs subtract, and we get 5, and then we will keep the sign of the number that's larger. All right, b cubed plus a plus 2b. Here we go. So that's going to be 2 cubed plus a is 5 plus 2. That doesn't look good. 2 times 2. All right. Don't ask me why the two of them are different. But yeah. And then 2 cubed is not 6, but 8. Remember that 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. So that's going to be 8. So it's 8 plus 5 plus 4. And that gives us 17. Some persons had 15, and that's because you had 2 cubed equals 8. All right, so that's going to be 17. I have no more spaces below. All right, but ensure you put this in your next line. Yeah, pretty much. You can go ahead and pause the video and write off, make corrections, because I will just be moving on to the next set of questions. All right, oh, and let me clear the screen. So this now says if x is equal to 4, y is equal to 7, and z is equal to negative 2, find the value of. Be careful, because some of you forgot that z is negative 2 and you actually substituted 2. So here we go. Negative 10z, that's going to be negative 10 times z, which is negative 10 times negative 2. Okay. And that's ugly. Okay. I'll stick to these. Uh-oh. All right. So yes, and we know that negative 10 times negative 2 is going to be, it's going to be not negative 20, which some of you wrote, but actually positive 20. All right. And then some person did this, negative 10, negative 2, totally forgetting that we use our brackets for multiplication, and so it now looks like you're just subtracting 2 from -10. So some persons had -12 as their final answer. So nope. Please note the difference between when you're adding and subtracting and when you're multiplying and dividing. All right. So the rules for multiplying and dividing, if the two numbers have same signs, then your result is positive. If the two numbers have different signs, then your result is negative. All right, so this is going to be now x squared minus z squared, and that's going to be x is 4 squared, minus, and then some persons had this, -2 squared. Now remember that if you are squaring -2, you need to show me properly that you're squaring -2. As it stands, it looks like you're just squaring the 2. That's what that statement says. And so you must show me using your brackets that is the entire -2, the sign and the number, right? That's being squared. Now we can move on. 4 squared is not 8, guys. 4 squared, 4 times itself, but 16. Minus -2 squared, that's -2 times -2. And we know once you multiply two negatives, you will get positive. Otherwise, we would have mentioned that once you square a negative or raise it to the 4th power, the 6th power, the 10th power, the 20th power, raise a negative to any even number, you will get back a positive number. All right, so the answer to this is actually 4, not -4. 16 minus 4 is going to be 12. We'll move to part 3, and that's going to be x plus y plus z, which is 4 plus 7 plus, so we can hold -2. You can use a bracket to separate your -2 here. Sign. All right. And we know that when two signs are directly beside each other, like this, whether you had put the brackets or not, when two signs are directly beside each other, we can change them into one sign. And so just the same, when the signs are different, they're going to turn into a negative. All right, the signs are the same, two of them can be combined to give you a positive. All right. So here we go, 4 plus 7 plus -2. So it's going to be 4 plus 7 minus 2. 4 plus 7 gives us 11. You can write that down if you want. Minus 2, which eventually gives us 9. I'm out of space. All right, which gives us 9. So go ahead and pause and write. I'm going to clear the entire screen so I have space to do this little one, y minus z. All right. Go ahead, pause the video, write if you need to. And then for y minus z, we're going to have that is equal to 7 minus -2. Again, you can use a bracket to separate your signs as well. All right. Once those signs are directly beside each other, we can change them into one. We still observe the rules multiplication. And so those two signs will now turn into a positive. All right. And I'll promise you that I'll do a whole video. I'll do a whole video to focus on just multiplying signs. Tell you a story actually. All right, so here we go. And that's 7 plus 2, which gives us 9. Done. So for those set of questions, we are through. And I'm going to take you now to one final question. All right. We'll take a real life example. Mr. Joe's chicken farm is rectangular and has the following dimensions. Length equals 2r. The length is 2r. And the width equals t. All right. Draw a diagram to represent the farm. Draw a diagram to represent the farm. And we are also going to find the perimeter of the farm, given some values to substitute. then we find the area of the farm. So we will go with the first part. Draw a diagram to represent what the farm looks like. It says it's rectangular, so we go ahead and we work with a rectangle. And the length is 2r and the width is t. It's fine. All right, and then, yeah, that's pretty much your few marks right there. This is probably a 2-mark question. All right, depending on the level at which you are. Okay, so you can take that off. Actually, you can go ahead and try the questions ahead of me if you haven't done them already. All right, R is equal to 10. Oh. R is equal to 10 and T is equal to 15. Find the perimeter of the farm. So now we know that the perimeter, I'm gonna have to double use that space. So now we know that the perimeter, to find the perimeter, we need to find the length of the different sides of the rectangle, go straight along the border and find the length and add them all up and we should be fine. And so I'm gonna draw a smaller rectangle. So this is 2r, then this is also 2r. If this is t, then this is also t. All right, you can go ahead and do this. So the perimeter, I'm just gonna write P, especially for space purposes. The perimeter is gonna be 2r plus 2r again plus t plus t. There's too many lines. All right, good. So now we actually have, you can simplify this to say 4r plus 2t. And r is going to be 10, so that's going to be 4 times 10. R is 10 centimeters. 4 times 10 centimeters. Plus 2 times 15 centimeters. And then that's going to be 40 centimeters plus 30 centimeters because I don't have the space. I'm just going to tell you. All right, and that will give us 70 centimeters. Oh, I was supposed to draw a bracket there. I was wondering where that 2 came from. All right. And there's also another way that we could do this. All right, also what you could do, which is what some persons did, was to just find out what 2r is. So they were like, the length is equal to 2r. I'm gonna go straight across, forgive me, which is equal to 2 times 10 centimeters, which is equal to 20 centimeters, right? And then the width would be t, which is equal to 15 centimeters. And then it would give us the same answer as we had earlier. So perimeter would have been 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or length plus width and then multiplied by 2. So let's go length plus length, or 2 times the length. So that's 2 times 20 centimeters plus 2 times 15 centimeters. And you see we end up back at the same place. All right. So whether you wanted to write out the whole expression first, well, P equals, and then whatever represents the perimeter. Yeah. Or you wanted to find the values for each side first, then you would have been also find the measurements for each side. All right. And the next thing it says is to find the area of the farm. And we know that the area of a rectangle is going to be the length times the width, which is going to be 2r times t. And we already said that 2r is going to be 20 centimeters times, and t would have been 15 centimeters. That would now give us 300 square centimeters. All right, and that's it for our questions. Guys, if you got them right, you can, well, for those whom I haven't marked, and if you got them right, then you can go ahead and give yourself ticks where necessary. All right, and we will pick up from here next class. All right, see you guys.